This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021, and it's the Relevant Podcast. We made it, everyone.
Oh my gosh,
January's
February.
over. January's
So
over.
weird.
In Orlando, I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author, podcaster, speaker, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, artist, producer, and mogul, Derek Miner. What? Did your stock drop?
Oh, no. I'm good. You know, everything is lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, before we get on, I know there's a lot to get to today, but I have a question that something transpired last night, and I respect all of you. I respect your guys' knowledge, your sense of social decorum, and your ethics. Okay, and that's really the three things this question needs to be resolved. It's about dog etiquette. Okay, are you guys dog owners? Is anyone here?
I have 2 dogs.
No,
And I love them.
I own fish.
Okay.
For the last year, I've had a dog.
So we got 3 dogs between us. Okay, This is so that's actually good because I got 2. We got dog owners, and we got non-dog owners here. Okay, I'm out somewhere last night. Don't worry, it's very socially distanced. I was out by myself, but it was at a place where you could sit far from people, and I could bring my laptop and I could get some work done. But it was also a dog-friendly place. Okay, there was a person with a dog there, and the dog's just trotting around, and I don't know what about me made the dog so attracted to me because I'm not a big dog guy. Okay, I feel like I give off very anti-dog vibes. I show no. It's not like I'm anti. I don't give off anti-dog vibes. I give someone that's very disinterested in that someone has a dog. Maybe mildly annoyed. Like, there's no need to have a dog in here. Okay, like I'm kind of that vibe. I'm throwing those vibes. All right, not strong.
Right.
I'm not a dog hater. I'm just saying I'm not interested in interacting with a dog right now.
Right.
Okay. So the person, the dog in this place is unleashed and it trots over to me and just sits next to me. Inside. This is sort of an inside
food and
outside.
drinks are being consumed.
Yes, it's an indoor outdoor place, and they have and they let dog. It's an old firehouse. It's a decommissioned.
In Austin, Texas, if you don't have a dog with you wherever you are, people think you're weird. I mean, people sting their dogs. Yes, everywhere.
Inside?
Yes, this is a very dog friendly city.
I'm never eating in Austin, Texas.
So this dog comes and sits next to me. All right, like, and he's got like at one point he's like nuzzling up and it's on my leg. Okay, like his head, like, hey buddy, he's wanting me to pet him. I gave off clearly disinterested dog vibes. Okay. Now, here's what I do. The guy says, hey, I think he likes you. What is the scenario there? Because look, the dog isn't hurting me. He's not preventing me from getting my work done, right? He's not like biting me or something. But can I say you need to get this dog out of here? Like, can I say please call your dog back? Or is that bad form? Because then I'm the anti-dog guy. Then everyone's like, look at that jerk. That dog came over and nuzzled his leg. He saw a human that needed some companionship and went over, and that guy's shooing him away. What's the scenario here? Because I ended up just leaving. I didn't want to deal with it.
If a dog nuzzles my leg, that's not a problem. It's when you get all into this. Y'all don't see y'all don't see what I'm doing, but I got my hand all up in my face.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you kiss me in the mouth and all that stuff. You know what I'm
Jesse,
saying?
you
Like,
didn't want to pet the dog? Like, there wasn't anything in you that wanted to pet this dog?
I don't know where this dog's been. It's I want to pet the dog. That dog could have been trouncing around in a swamp or a dairy farm.
You don't
or
know
somewhere
who else
gross.
he's been nuzzling. You don't know what
It's
diseases
true.
he's carrying.
Exactly. I'm washing my hands 8 times a day. I'm not going to pet an animal. I'm not going to put my hands on a strange animal. I'm just saying, what is the etiquette there, dog?
So this
owners?
was a random dog or someone else?
This is a random dog. But Jamie, you're in a place. You got one of your 2 dogs. It's a very nice, friendly place, and you see what looks like your dog trots over and is being very friendly with someone. Do you have any impulse to be like, I got to get my dog out of here, or it's just like
100%.
Cool.
I got to get my dog back because not everybody wants. Yeah, I'm going to call back my dogs, Marfa and Landry, and tell them to come back. To their mom.
You said
Landry.
Martha?
Marfa with an F, like the city in Texas. It's in West Texas.
Oh, it's a city, Marfa. Okay.
No,
and
I would call my dog and Landry.
Like Tom
Based
Landry?
off the character from Friday Night Lights. He's my favorite character in the whole show, Landry. There you go.
These are very Texas-centric names here, Jamie.
Hey, we like everyone to know what we love Texas.
Marfa.
I would call my dogs back.
Marfa, it sounds like you're like yelling with a lisp or something. Like you're trying to say Martha, but
Martha,
you can't.
I know. But
Marfa.
I would call my dogs back, Jesse.
So I'm not going to look like a monster next time if I'm like, bro, can you just grab the dog back? I'm just not in the mood. Right?
It's all about the delivery. Like if you were like, if you looked at him kind of like, hey man, I'm not really a dog person. Is it cool if you, then I'd be like, oh, my bad. So yeah, of course. There's no problem.
I got it, Jesse. As long as you're okay with a little bit of lie, like not a big lie, but a little lie. You could be like, oh my gosh, I'm allergic to all dogs. You think you could get your dog?
See, I feel like dogs and babies, you look like a real jerk if you are the one who's not about it. It's like, hey man, you hold the baby. I don't want to. I really prefer not to. Okay,
Jamie, I agree with you that the allergy thing is a great one, except for the fact that you knew that this was a dog-friendly establishment and dogs are inside. Why did you come here? Like, it's not my fault.
If you're allergic, that might not go over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to say this to you, Jesse and Derek. And I don't mean to be weird about this.
Okay.
Dogs, your little Jesse, you did your segment on what you were thinking last week about, the happiness and laughter and stuff. Mm-hmm. Dogs bring so much happiness to my life. I come home, my dogs are so happy to see me. They never talk back to me. They're always excited. They bring so much happiness to my life. So maybe look at getting a dog for your family.
That will never happen. Dogs bring me nothing but chores. Like, someone's got to walk it. Someone's got to clean it. Someone's got to take it to the groomer.
But you love going on walks. It's
and you walk in your neighborhood by yourself.
Yeah, because I don't have to worry about anything. Now,
you're not talking to the dog while you're on a walk. You're still in the same thought space.
Now I gotta be concerned about. I gotta be concerned about the dog now. What if there's a squirrel? What if he sees someone he wants to know? What? I don't want to worry about it. I just want to. I'm a walk to be alone, not to have to worry about a dog.
I'm just saying, dogs bring a lot of happiness to people.
My 7 and 9. Have you seen? I just need to go upstairs on a Zoom call and just show you my kids' closet and show you what they've done to their toys. And then now bring a live animal inside of our home with my 7 and 9-year-old boys. No, I don't want to go to jail. Like I don't trust. It's not me. It's not the dog. I don't trust my kids. Like I'd come home and the dog's on fire or something. Like you know what I'm saying? Nah, we cool. I like my fish. You know what I'm saying?
We had a cat once when I was, and my little brother was really little. He was like 3. And I woke up one Saturday morning, and I was 11 or 12 years older than him. And so I'm a teenager. We have a cat. I go into the bathroom and there's black fur all over the bathroom. And I'm like, where's the cat? And I go and find him. And my brother, Chandler, who the listeners know, had found my hair clippers and wanted to see what the fluffy cat would look like with a haircut. And he just basically scalped this cat. Like, that's what Derek's kids would be doing. They'd be doing experiments on the animal.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. So we're not going to go down that road. Like when I first got my fish, all my fish died because, so I had a first crop of fish. They all died because my kids decided that Cheez-Its and apple juice were a significant meal for the fish. So they just dumped apple juice into the tank and they were dead.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
No, not for the fish.
I got our dog. My son had been wanting one for a long time, begging. I got him last early October. I was on my sabbatical and then we went to COVID and all this stuff. And I will tell you what Jamie said. It's very true. Just it brought so much joy to our family. Like when I'm home alone, I'm not alone. Like it's just he's a great little dog, little Charles Barkley, and we've had a lot of fun with him.
Oh, so Charles Barkley!
Well, just keep him on a short leash. Keep him on a short leash if you see someone who seems to be a pretty affable guy, just hanging out, trying to get some work done.
My dog's the round mound of rebound. Everybody loves him. Like you wouldn't hang out with Charles Barkley. You would have been fine with him.
Okay, Derek, you're gonna. I feel that Cameron and Jamie are not going to be able to answer this question objectively. I feel like every dog owner's like, I get your thing about dogs, but wait till you meet my dog. Yeah, this dog is special. Right. Every dog owner's like, I get it, but wait till you meet this dog. And it's like, I appreciate your guys' love and devotion to your dogs, but I don't know. I've heard that from other dog owners. I'm sure Charles Barkley, if he were to approach me at a restaurant, I would be okay with him hanging. But I'm just saying, it would put me in an awkward situation. I consider myself a pretty nice guy, but I just had to leave. I'm going to get all my work done. So thanks a lot, dog.
Oh, gosh.
Well, we have a great show in store for you today. As you all know, yesterday kicked off Black History Month. And each February on relevantmagazine.com, we do a special emphasis of content about Black history, racial unity in the church, especially, and in our culture. It's something we've been doing for 15 years. And we also want to bring that over to the podcast as well. So to kick off the month, we have an unusual guest segment, a little bit of an unusual guest segment. We are going to have more of a conversation than a normal interview. We are joined by a friend of the show, artist, author, poet, activist, podcaster. He does it all. Propaganda is joining us. And instead of doing kind of a Tyler Huckabee Presents Q&A with Prop, Derek is also joining more of a roundtable discussion about Black History Month, race in America today, how we can move forward in this kind of new era that we're entering in 2021. It's a fascinating conversation. Please don't miss it. It is such a good conversation coming up. We also have your feedback at the end of the show. And right now, stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices. You're listening to Julian Baker. The song is Faith Healer. Well, today's show is brought to you by BetterHelp. 2020 was interesting, so let's do a mental health check-in. How are you really? What do you need right now? Therapy can help. What is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. Get some tools to help with motivation, depression, anxiety, battling your temper, stress, dealing with insecurity in relationships or at work, whatever you need. It's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles and start feeling better because you deserve to be happy. Counseling has changed my life. Go for it. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Join the millions of people who are seeing what therapy is really about. See if it's for you, because you are your greatest asset. Right now, they're offering Relevant Podcast listeners 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/relevant. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/relevant. Go save 10%. You'll love it. Okay, it's time for Slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right, I have a slice, and actually, Tyler, our very own Tyler Huckabee, wrote a great write-up about this research on Relevant this week that I found very interesting, but also kind of concerning. And it's a topic I've written about in the past. And that is, kind of the infiltration of churches by conspiracy theory culture.
Yeah.
Lifeway actually did research. This was honestly shocking that 49% of Protestant pastors, so, I'm assuming a lot of them are kind of evangelical leanings because that's where it seems to really have taken hold, agreed with this statement. I frequently hear members of my congregation repeating conspiracy theories that they heard about why something is happening in our country. 49% that leadership says they are spewing conspiracy theories openly in the church. Only 47% disagree with it. So less of them said they haven't. To me, Cameron, when did we started? I feel like we were kind of ahead of the curve when we did a story. What was that? Probably 3 or 4 years ago.
I think probably 4. Yeah.
And I really do feel like at the time that this number wasn't 49%. It was maybe 10%, but it was growing at a rate where I know it was sort of on our radar editorially of like, this could be something that has a major impact on the church. And, the angle that we initially covered it was looking at, everything from like flat earth theories to, at the time, what was kind of the early seeds of like the QAnon deal with like Pizzagate and the WikiLeaks. And, that was sort of slow. Oh, and then there was like climate change denial and things like that, where we're slowly infiltrating kind of fringes of the church. it's gotten to the point where it is so one, the conspiracies has gotten more and more bonkers. This isn't someone saying, hey, I think a scientist took money from the oil or the renewable energy field so that they are, down or exaggerating climate change. That seems reasonably plausible, even though I don't agree with it. I could see why someone would have that, would theorize that, that people are conspiring to do that. It seems plausible. The conspiracy theories are getting freaking crazy. Half lizard people that are drinking blood and flying to crazy islands with Tom Hanks. They're getting bonkers. And the more bonkers they are, the more prevalent they seem to be coming in the church. I found this study, shocking. I see a lot of people kind of, there are those kind of reasonably harmless, like X-Files conspiracies about aliens and things like that are kind of fun to kind of joke around about. But this is like legit stuff. I've kind of done a deep dive on. It's been very interesting to me. There's a couple subreddits that I've been visiting pretty frequently. One is called QAnon Casualties, where these people go and they talk about family members who've gotten sucked into this thing so much that a lot of them have lost relationships, have lost their jobs, have, kind of started patterns of really destructive behaviors because their life has been consumed by things that are obvious lies. And now it's happening in the church. Do you guys find that number surprising at all? 49%?
No.
Why do you say that?
Because a lot of people's faith or approach to Christianity is based mostly like a conspiracy theory than it is in fact. A lot of times I feel like people just believe what they believe about Jesus, right or wrong, right? Without research and without actually diving deep. So, I remember somebody said, the scripture, God helps those that help themselves. Like, it's people that believe that that's a scripture. It's not a scripture. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for a lot of people, it's more about, it would seem that a lot of times faith is not necessarily based in a cognitive, thoughtful idea of, yes, I've looked at everything and this makes sense. It's an echo chamber of what I think faith is. So that's how you can get people that say they love Jesus but hate Jews. Like how Jesus was a Jew. You can't love Jesus and hate the people that he loves. You see what I'm saying? Like, right. It's like, that's how we can come to those types of things where I'm a racist. I think all Jews and Black people are crazy or monsters.
Inferior,
yet the Bible was made in Africa with Jews and Black folks, right? So it's like, I feel like a lot of people's perspectives in Christianity are not based mostly in fact and history and culture, but based a lot of it in superstition and Gnosticism and you know what I mean? That's what at least that's my perspective.
I have a follow-up because that's really interesting because you kind of took that in a direction that I wasn't expecting, because I think what I think of like the main culprit, I think it's sort of this conflation with fringe, partisan, kind of conspiracies that have their roots in trying to sow political division, right? Like that was sort of but Derek, I think the larger point you're making is, and I want you interested to see if you can unpack this. It seems like the point you're making is, I'm sure that all that partisan stuff has something to do with it, but it's really a lack of critical thinking skills that have been fostered in church congregations. How much do you think that has the role in it, that we just haven't taught Christians to think critically? We've taught them to be, sheep in the sense that they're only listening to teachers and never questioning them or really questioning teaching. How do you think that can be resolved, the critical thinking thing?
I think we build solid foundations on things that we don't even understand. So how can you do that? So if you talk about the partisan idea of all of that, it's like what the scripture says, in the last days, people are going to have itching ears, right? So we build faith and perspective off of things we think are right. And then we go find the facts to prove that right, as opposed to saying, I've looked at the whole enchilada, I've looked at the whole picture, and this is the rational conclusion. We're saying, this is my rational conclusion. Now let me go find facts to prove it. The truth of the matter is, there's a lot of people that don't even know why Jesus is considered the Messiah culturally, by the Bible. Like, what in the Old Testament are the qualifiers that Jesus had to meet to be the Messiah? Most people can't answer that question. And that's the foundation of our faith, is that Jesus is the Messiah. How is he the Messiah? Is because we grew up in church and our pastor said that. So then that's why we can have all of these extra biblical things that don't necessarily fit within the Bible, because most people's faith is built off of their set of religious principles. And it's like, I believe this, let me go find the facts to prove it. It's not the facts that I believe inform my decision. And now you multiply that with the partisanism, right? So with the people that are like, yo, I have to find a way to make a Republican God's choice. Why? Because the people that are in my church said Republicans are God's choice. So then now I can freely call, like somebody literally posted and said Joe Biden is a pedophile on, like, I get these comments all the time. And I'm saying, do you know how damning that accusation is with just a little bit of YouTube propaganda
nonsense
proof? Like,
yeah.
There's like, to call someone a pedophile, like, that is a massive point to make about someone. Or the idea of, like, I just saw this video with some goofball named Charlie Kirk at Chino Hills Church sitting with the pastor saying that Lecrae shouldn't be allowed in any churches because he supports abortion. And he supported Warnock, and Warnock supports abortion, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, you don't even know where Lecrae stands on abortion. You just saw him perform at an event with a Democrat, and now you've made this thing where you freely call, like, evangelicals freely call people baby killers. Like, do you know how big of an indictment that is to call someone a murderer of children or a pedophile, someone who takes advantage of that? But that's because you have a narrative and you're looking for facts to prove it. So if you get some weirdo guy on YouTube that said, hey, 100 people say something's wrong, but you find that one QAnon person that says, hey, maybe you're right. You know, maybe you are right. It's just like with, and I know I'm ranting, but there literally 100 black people can say this is wrong, but you let some weirdo Candace Owen, Vody Bakum type guy say something's right, and then you're going to discredit the 99 black people that says something's wrong. And you're going to go find the one Candace Owen or Vody Bakum to prove your point. That's what I'm saying is our itching ears. Where we're at is a result of itching ears, is not critically thinking.
And you have to also correlate that. Remember the studies over the last few years, Jesse, that American evangelicals feel that they are statistically the most persecuted people group in the world. So when you have the worldview that everybody's against us and they're trying to take our freedom, they're trying to take our religion, our faith, blah, 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 everything's against us. And then you're saying, think critically and freely or whatever, they're kind of going, well, if that outlet, the liberal New York Times or the liberal party is telling me something I don't want to hear, I don't believe it, they're against me. So I'm not going to look at it whether it's fact or not. You are against me. I'm persecuted. You're persecuting me. So even if you are saying what you believe to be fact, I will not believe you. So now I have to create alternate facts to explain my reality of being the persecuted. And that's where, like, all the little conspiracy, like, Jesse, I don't think they go from 0 to 100. I think it's one little thing adds to one little thing, and then that kind of rounds that out, and that connects this one with that one. And it's over time people get fully deceived. I don't think they started out thinking lizard people were drinking blood of babies and stuff, you know what I mean? But it's just like somehow they had to rationalize the world as they saw it, and it's not reality. So they're having to create a false reality, and that's conspiracy theories, you know?
Which I think is why you see so many people, believing these things, and also at the same time holding up signs that say Jesus saves in John 3:16,
right, is
because they're coming from the church. Like, they have knowledge of these things. And I mean, the danger to me is looking at young men, especially young white men who are buying into these things. And the next thing you know, they are against everyone that doesn't look like them. And you're like, you grew up in a Christian home. Like, what happened? There was just this idea of Christian things, but there was no foundation. And so then something looks shinier and better. And like you said, Cameron, they're like, oh, this is they're against me. I might as well go fight them.
So what's interesting
Scary.
too is everybody hears this and says 49% of Christians believe conspiracy theories, and we would go, "Oh, that's the wackos, that's the old people, that's whatever." But in Jesse, your article that you wrote, it was shocking to us that it's actually demographically millennial Christians that are the biggest adherents to conspiracy theories. Millennial Christians are the most likely to get duped and buy in. And if you look at the Capitol riots, the Capitol arrests records, the number one age demographic that was arrested was people in their 20s and 30s. And it's like so it's not our parents saying conspiracies, it's us. And that's what's crazy to me, is because I can't figure out how this generation got so deceived.
Well, not only that, I would be willing to make a pretty strong bet that most of those arrested were not just in that age demographic, but also would self-identify as Christians.
As Christian.
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for starting Slices off light, Jesse.
I mean, I started off with 10 minutes of dog talk. I feel like it's fair. I feel like I started some lighthearted dog talk.
All right. What do you have, Derek?
Yo, so I was gonna go one direction, but I decided to go a different direction. So obviously Joe Biden is pretty busy in office right now, and I know this is not necessarily a political thing, but this is really, really near and dear to my heart. So he just did an executive order last week that ended the federal contract with private prisons. And I think that's just huge and amazing. So he's ending the contract with private prisons. And this is a great step in ending our mass incarceration system here in our country. I mean, for those of you that don't know that, I mean, we jail more people than anybody in the world.
Because there's money involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's money involved. So ending it at the federal level is a great step towards bringing more equity and hopefully humanity in the way that we deal with people who have committed crimes. So shout out to him. Thank you for doing that. I've been preaching against I've been preaching against the private prison system for as long as I can remember. So now just seeing this come to fruition is really big deal for me.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah,
it was crazy. Like, obviously every new administration comes in and signs executive orders, but I think in the first few days he signed more than 30, which historical context was a lot. And obviously there's a lot of opinions about the stuff he enacted, but a lot of changes happened very quickly, and that's one of them. What do you have, Jamie?
Okay, I'm going to bring us up a little bit because I love all these conversations. But let me give you a little bit of context here. At the Ivy household, we do not own a microwave. I don't know if that's weird to you guys.
Do you live at Chipotle?
Do I live at Chipotle? We have
no. Do you live at Chipotle? Because Chipotle doesn't have microwaves either. That's
I was going to say, Jamie, if I didn't have a microwave in my home, I would basically live on a raw diet, like a raw food diet. So I'm anxious to see how you guys live.
No microwave for like 13 years. We just haven't. My teenage boys, literally, some teenage boys are begging their parents for whatever. Every day they are petitioning for a microwave in our house. So at my new office, I got a microwave. And you guys, I got it for the sole purpose that my boys would stop by and see their mom. And so I stock the bottom drawer in the kitchen full of microwavable mac and cheese, ramen, these things that they have never laid eyes on before. They think they've gone just like their mom's office is the best.
I'm hungry.
I know. So mac and cheese, guys, I want you guys to get down on this. I've already entered. They're only picking about 1,000 people. I hope that maybe somebody on this show wins one. Kraft has launched pink mac and cheese for Valentine's Day that tastes like candy. Okay. Now, I don't know if I want to eat mac and cheese and taste candy. Maybe. So they launched it and it's a contest. So you have to apply, which basically they just got my email. So now I'm going to get all the ads for Kraft mac and cheese. But you still have a chance while you're listening to this show. You can still apply a contest. 1,000 people are going to win this mac and cheese. And I'm just like, Kraft, come through for me so that I can bring pink mac and cheese to my boys at my office because they'll then think I'm super, super cool.
I think that ties in very well with this week's feedback that we're about to tell everybody. What's the weirdest thing you've ever tasted?
Yeah.
I can't imagine having candy tasting mac and cheese.
I can't either, but
too far.
You can have it.
Jamie. It's too far. I watch those. I like just like everybody during quarantine. You watch all these. Like half of Netflix is just like cool food shows that follow the same. They follow the same arc. They start you in some crazy artisan place with like slow-mo shots of someone kneading dough and like getting coals ready for an oven, and then it's you learn their whole story and how the years they spent in a French kitchen before they discovered like pastry fusion or whatever. But anyway, I was watching one and they were showing this deli in like Brooklyn or something that had like the pink bagels that are, people line up around the bottom. I'm like, who wants a pink bagel, man? That ain't right. Like bagels aren't pink. I don't know how they did that.
But does it still just like taste like a bagel? Because then that's just food coloring. Who cares?
I guess, but hey.
But she's saying the mac and cheese is going to taste like candy. That's horrible.
It's even worse.
That'd be worse. I agree. Now, I do think, I think from what I read is that you could add the candy if you wanted, but it's pink no matter what. Okay. So maybe you could just have pink mac and cheese.
Cheesy candy.
That sound.
I've never had cheesecake.
That sounds disgusting.
You're missing out.
Cheesecake.
Never had cheesecake?
For this exact reason.
It doesn't taste like cheese.
Cheesecake doesn't sound good to me. No, thank you.
Have you ever had, do you eat cream cheese?
No. I don't want creamy cheese either. I just want
You don't like your cheese creamy?
I've never had creamy cheese.
Nacho cheese?
Oh, yeah. I guess I've had melted cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
7-Eleven.
All right.
7-Eleven. The greatest cheese. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. You can give me some weird French guy, on the Italian countryside, knocking big wheels of Parmesan with a hammer and trying to listen to it. With Massimo and his Michelin star. Give me the nacho juice, dude, from 7-Eleven all day. You can keep that.
Gross.
I don't want that wheel of cheese that's been sitting in that barn for 8 years. You just told me that, dude. I don't want that. Give me some fresh nacho cheese.
Nothing about what Jesse eats is actual food. It's all some sort of chemical, like everything that he puts in his body. All right, stay tuned. Up next, Derek and Prop join us. You're listening to Claude. The song is Cuff Your Jeans. Always, always cuff your jeans. Well, today's episode is brought to you by podcast creation platform Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor yet, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's free. There are custom tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and every major platform. The cool thing is you can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Well, this segment, as I told you at the beginning of the show, is a little bit unusual for our normal guest segment. We wanted rapper, artist, podcaster, producer, Propaganda to join us. He's based out in LA. He's been a friend for years and is one of the leading voices in racial reconciliation, racial justice, especially in the church. One of those other leading voices happens to be on this podcast every week, Derek Minor. Not only is he a rapper, producer, and entrepreneur in Nashville, but really is somebody who has stuck his neck out, especially online, to speak truth, to call out things that need to be called out, especially in church culture, and really is in a position of his career where he just doesn't care anymore, and he's going to just do what's right. And it's been powerful and inspiring and challenging to watch both of these guys as they've really led this conversation over the last year, 2, 3, especially. Well, we wanted our very own Tyler Huckabee to join them for kind of a real talk. We're all family here. We're all friends here. Let's talk. Here is Derek Minor, Tyler Huckabee, and Propaganda talking about Black History Month and a lot more.
Prop, you and I have talked about this a little bit a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
In the 2020 turned to 2021, and I think there was a big feeling from a big chunk of the country that we kind of put the worst parts of what happened in 2020, including a lot of the stuff about police brutality, Black Lives Matter. We overcame the final boss, and now we can move on to get back to normal where things were okay.
Yeah.
Is that the general sense that you guys have?
No.
I didn't think so, but it's hard. But it's hard, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, I say that in the sense of just like having a longer sense of history and just kind of like knowing that like this is just how these things go. And then, me being a history nerd and a history teacher for a long time was like, I just know the history of fascism and the history of nations and how nations go through cycles and collapse and then come back after, you know what I mean? Like there is still such thing as France, but France collapsed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I know that it's possible, you know what I'm saying? Also, I know that like December 31st and January 1st, there's no magic that happens. It's just the next day. You know what I'm saying? So like
Facts.
that having that sort of like, reality, and like if racism ain't left yet, it ain't going away on January 1st. You feel me? You never want to make a one-to-one racial connection to any moment in history because, people are different times, different situations, different everything. It's just not true. But you can learn certain things from it. And one of the things I know from like whether it was the Weimar Republic with in Germany, whether it was like, Mussolini or, Franco in Spain, like whatever the case may be, the group that made it possible for any of these things to happen was that it wasn't the wild psychos. Nobody wants to be that. It was the moderate. That's just like, I just don't want any trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want any trouble. I just want everything to be okay. Can everybody just, mom that just wants a peaceful Thanksgiving. She doesn't want to deal with nothing. I just want everybody to can we all just have a nice meal?
Yeah, for me, I like to know where people stand. To be honest, I really don't even register like the Klan. That's not a threat to me. The threat to me, honestly, is the white guy that's quiet, that has the ability to hire person A, person B. Person A is white, looks just like him. They get along. Everything is great. Person B, black guy. Black guy is brilliant, but doesn't fit the culture.
Maybe more qualified too.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe more qualified. Both may be equally qualified, right?
Yeah.
But black guy may even be significantly more qualified, or he may be just have a different approach that may be better for the company. But white guy fits the quote unquote culture better. That guy terrifies me. That guy is the reason why the progression hasn't happened, because in their mind, it's like, that's the white supremacy that is the most dangerous, because it's like Jell-O. You can't really, like, it's like trying to grab Jell-O. You can't grab it. There's no real, it doesn't have a real form. Like you can't put laws on that. Like you can't fix that with laws. That is just a thing that is innate in people that will make them say like, hey, I just don't like that guy for some reason. Well, you don't like him because he doesn't fit your culture because he's black or Asian or Indian. You know what I mean? Or Native American. It does. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the issue, I think, with this white supremacy. You just feel like it's not going to be
a good hang. Like I can take this guy to golf with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's that familiarity, which is normal to all humans. But if it's a situation like Derek is explaining, to where inside of that is a deep rooted discrimination or prejudice that is so ingrained that you can't identify it.
And the elusive part about it is that most white people, because they don't have not done the work here. That's the elusive part about it. That guy, very well that I described, very well may not be consciously racist. Like he may not consciously be like, yo, I hate black people. That's why I said The Klan guys, they're not a threat to me as much as that guy is, because he thinks he's doing what's right and he's not. You see what I'm saying? Like he hasn't done the work, the self-reflection to say, why is it that every opportunity I get to hire somebody, he looks exactly like me? Right. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have that. Why, even if the other guys are qualified, like I'll find a reason why or just the idea of that for the white lady who has that fear and that uneasiness around black people. Yeah. Even if the black person is just standing there, he's not doing nothing. But it's like that fear that's there. You haven't done the work to ask yourself, why do I feel this way? That's the problem. And and we talk about white privilege. White people have the privilege to not have to do that work. We have to do that work. Yeah. Like I have to be sensitive to my surroundings on how I make white people feel at all times. So I have to constantly do that work. White people, you have the privilege to not do that work. So because you have the privilege of not doing that work, the progression and it makes us look in that.
So then we're taking crazy pills. That's where, and like, where we're the ones bringing up the problem. Well, why are you guys always talking about this? It's like, because we're experiencing it, but since it's so acute, it makes us look like we the crazy ones in this conversation, where we're like, listen, I'm telling you, you have a crumb in your beard. I know you don't see it, but I'm looking at you. There's a crumb in your beard. You know what I'm saying?
What then happens when Black History Month comes and all these organizations, all these corporations, all these politicians, majority of them white, all of a sudden break out the Kenta cloth? It becomes this very aesthetic, like, oh yeah, remember, like, what's the emotion going on there?
You know what? I'll be honest, and I'll let Derek answer too. But I honestly think Derek's answer is the same as mine. Is like, I just don't pay him no attention. Because I'm just like, call me when you're at calculus. Right now, you guys are, this is math 1. You know what I'm saying? I have no time for math 1. You know what I'm saying? So y'all do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. I'm going to invest my time in my own community, especially when it comes to like Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? And more equipping, to be quite honest, equipping persons of color. And the place that I'm at, especially just from the part of town I live in, the part of the country I live in, the solidarity among BIPOC communities, is of utmost importance in my particular like stage of my career. You know what I'm saying? And stage of my activism is, I mean, I live in a all Latino community. You know what I'm saying? And using this moment to express, sort of solidarity among Latinos, while at the same time not losing, my Blackness, and inviting them into that experience.
Yeah. I mean, last year for Black History Month, I launched a campaign, and it's been, what's been happening from it has been crazy, called Ownership is the New Black. And it was all sparked from a concept of, I was watching a brilliant man, Dr. Claude Anderson. He said, Black people, we make up 13% of the population. And after the Civil War, we own half of 1% of the wealth in America. And fast forward to today, we own 1.5% of the wealth in America. And that's awful. And it's by design and it's on purpose. So after watching that, when I say Black people built this country, I'm not kidding.
That is a factual
we
statement.
Literally built the country. So like I'm looking at the University of California, the Black inventors and inventions. It's like the top 100 inventions. The gas burner, the bicycle frame, the wrench, the egg beater, the motor, the guitar, the typewriter, the home security system, open heart surgery. Like the list goes on of things that Black people have invented that have been either stolen, that intellectual property has been stolen from them and exploited by a white person, right?
Sheesh.
Or they've just been erased from the history books from doing it. And like my goal is we have to begin, I think I know for Black people, for me, Black people need to hear affirmation and aspiration.
Yeah.
It's the two things that Black people need. They need affirmation of you're not crazy. You're not stupid. You're not an idiot. You are a man made in the image, man or woman made in the image of God. And the contributions you have are a long legacy.
In the coming weeks here, there's going to be a lot of people who are probably listening to this podcast even who have leadership roles at their churches, which are probably largely white and the majority case for people who listen to us. And they're going to feel compelled to do some sort of Black History Month thing at their church anyway. But is there even a way to do that? And it's the same tension that we at Relevant struggle with sometimes without putting the labor on Black people, too much labor, too much of attention on Black people that is already there and doesn't feel just like kind of purely aesthetic, purely token, and basically a waste of everyone's time.
I think it's not so much do a big how do you do, because at this point, if you're having this struggle, it's probably too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You should have invested a long time ago. So I think that one thing you could do is it's just like, okay, now let's get on the highway. Maybe for Black History Month, this is when you make a commitment to adjust the culture of your church or your organization. You know what I'm saying? So that next year, when it's Black History Month, it's not an awkward thing where you're having the same problem. So maybe this year it's like, okay, we're going to commit to changing our leadership, changing our board, changing our this, you know what I'm saying? This is our commitment to it, you know, so that you start seeing this throughout the year. So then next year, it'll be a normal outpouring of who we are.
Yeah, I think, and you know, I'm going to say this in love, but I think a lot of times that's a cop out, because white people are brilliant at a lot of stuff. Like,
oof.
You guys have the same Google that I have.
Oof.
So it's like, what's the difference between me Googling it and you Googling it? Like, you know, like
all of the world's information.
I mean, that's the beauty of the society we live in now is you don't have to be Black to tout the accomplishments and the history of Black people. Y'all know the stories of Black people about the poverty we've been in. Go find out what we've done that's been positive. Go find out what we've done. Like, I didn't know that one of the most like San Francisco was founded by a Black man. Yeah. Like, but I did the work. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's founded. That place was founded by a Black man. One of the most popular streets. I forget the brother's name, but he's all over the place there. He's a Dutch Black man. I'm like, yo, if I can find it, I know I'm not smarter than you. Like, we're at least on the same level. We got to do the work. That's what I'm saying.
That was Derek Minor and Propaganda. Go check them out on IG and Twitter, both. I mean, seriously, if you're not following those guys, what's wrong with you? Stay tuned. Up next, it's your feedback.
Your cross, my confidence. Your death, my plea. Your resurrection, my cry of victory. You thought of everything. There's nothing left. And all I do is come. You've done the rest.
You're listening to Judah and John Guerra. The song is You've Done the Rest. And that's some good stuff right there. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Last week, we got talking about the stress ball that Derek was playing with exploding all over him, and the goo was all over him. And Jesse wondered, Derek, be honest, did you taste it?
Just one little dab.
And I didn't.
And then Jamie started talking about things that she wondered if we had tasted.
Can I say something about that, Cameron?
Yes, please.
Okay, Jesse, do you know someone named Jeremy Little? They acted like they knew you.
But I'm going to Jeremy Little.
Okay.
Keep that in.
Jeremy sent me a message.
I don't want to hear his feelings, Clark.
He said, it's not a weird question, especially in that conversation. Honestly, I'm surprised Jesse hadn't tried it. I have. So maybe I shouldn't throw Jeremy under the bus like that. But listen, you guys, here's what I learned about the awkwardness that you all.
You need to tell the listeners who didn't who didn't hear it. What are you referencing?
Okay, so I referenced, have you ever tasted breast milk? Guys, I listened back to the show. It was like crickets when I said that. You guys were so awkward about it. And so I asked my friends, and here's why they said. They said it was awkward because I was asking dudes.
Very awkward.
Very awkward. I did a survey on my Instagram. 500 women said they had. Okay? So I think it might be that a woman's making the bottle. She does it on her hand, and she's like, little lick, accidentally. I also got some dudes that said they did. So I apologize for making you guys awkward, but even Friends did an episode about this. So I'm not the weirdest one in the world.
It's not the actual, I don't like thinking about, like, if I'm drinking, if I have like a sandwich in front of me, okay, I don't want to think about this, this ham sandwich. I don't want to think about that was a pig running around somewhere someday. I want to think about it with, my ham and cheese, or like that's the Parmesan. When Massimo goes to the barn and then he's checking out a 12-year-old wheel of Parmesan and talking about how it's got a specific flavor because the cows ate a certain breed of grass. Too far, dude. I didn't want to know that. I don't want to know much less. I don't know about the cow, much less about the field that is eating it. That's too much, man. Just when I have a piece of cheese, I'm not thinking about any of that. All I'm thinking about is pretty good cheese,
Okay, well.
Yeah.
All right, so you hit us up. We asked you, what's the weirdest thing you've ever tasted? You hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and you commented on the Relevant Instagram post as well. Here are a few of our favorites.
So I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I think Ben Stroop be lying, because I promise that man Ben got a crazy story for everything we did. Just let you know,
He
Ben.
does.
My man Ben said the other day, my 4-year-old was trying to get his shoes to squeak on the gym floor, and I told him he needed to wet the soles. I looked back and he was licking the soles of his very dirty shoes.
Okay, well, he was. He said to Alberto, Cameron, you're a big sneakerhead, or at least a different. You've kind of gone in and out of sneakerheadness at various points, right? Okay,
I have hundreds of Nikes. Yeah.
So Alberto said that he was a shoe hype beast himself, and he used to lick the sole of a new shoe. He said he didn't know why it was a fad. It always tasted gross. Is this a thing?
Why are people licking shoes? That's so gross.
No, but Jesse, you play ball. High school,
you lick your hands.
on the parquet. You lick your hand and you rub it on the sole of the shoe. Gives you a little fresh traction. That's what Ben was trying to tell his kid. His kid's 4, didn't know. I'm going to lick the shoe like Dad said. That's
which honestly, licking your hand is not that much better. You guys,
it's not that much
on
better.
A basketball court, it's not better.
It's not that much better.
You did not just wash your hands.
I never did that. Just to let y'all know, I never did that. I would slide all over the floor before I lick my hand.
It's like pitchers licking their hand through the whole game. That's so gross.
It's gross. Yeah. It's nasty.
Yeah. Well, they can't do that anymore. It's. That's
why we got COVID.
Yeah.
Basketball players, and baseball players.
Tim Cox said, if long story short, he got dared to eat a dog biscuit one time, and he did. And he didn't really kind of unpack how it tasted. I'll say this: one time, my parents did have a dog growing up, and one time I went into the pantry after a basketball practice. I was starving. I was like, "Oh, sweet beef jerky, man! This is gonna hit the spot." Flavored, cured flavored meats that I don't have to think about their origins are right up my alley. That's my love language. Anyway, I ate a bunch of this beef jerky. And like an hour later, I went back in the pantry. I looked at the bag. It was dog. It was for the dog. And I was like, you know what? That's
why you don't want a dog.
I was like, you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't even have known. It was good for humans too. Like, it wasn't that bad. It was like, I'm kind of jealous that the dog gets this because it's pretty good beef jerky.
Oh man, Josh Beeler said that at his grandma's house she had waxed fruit, and he thought, well, if it looks that good, it must taste pretty good too. And so he ate it. It does not taste good, he says.
Yeah, it was like you guys remember those little like bottle, they look like little bottles, and they were made of wax and they were filled with like sugar juice that you could buy when you were a kid. You would get a pretty healthy bite of wax in one of those and realize, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wax is pretty good. When you bite the top
yep.
off, yeah.
John said his daughter managed to bite through a glow stick once and had glow juice all over her face and tongue, but thankfully It was an organic, non-toxic glow stick.
Man, thank the Lord, because that could have went a bad direction.
That's like antifreeze.
I have a cousin who on 2 separate weekends, his father had to call poison control for him ingesting chemicals. The second time, I can't remember, it was some like oil or something he had actually drinking when he was a kid. But then on the second time, my uncle, this is partly his fault because in like the tool shed, he put you got the gasoline for the mower and you got the 2-cycle oil for the weed whacker. Well, he put the 2-cycle oil in like an old Coke bottle, like a 2-liter thing of Coke. And my young cousin came in and he was walking through the yard, not looking too hot. And he's like 6. And my uncle's like, "What's wrong, man?" He's like, "Dad, I just got some of that Pepsi in the shed. That Pepsi is hot." And anyway, they called poison control, and the same person from the weekend prior answered, and they're like, "You're not gonna believe it. He drank some more chemicals in the garage." So,
Oh gosh.
Dang.
Oh my gosh.
Poor fella.
he's fine now. He's fine now. I see
Maurice
him all the time.
Atkins said that he's tasted Young Living essential oils.
I
know
have too.
some essential oils are so pure that you can ingest them.
They have
right?
some. Like
Digest.
I love oils. They have some that you can put like in your water and stuff.
Yeah, Digest. I use Digest every now and again. It's pretty good.
Interesting.
Oh, Thieves too. I use Thieves.
Oh, I
Thieves
love the
is the goat.
Thieves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Does it help you? Like, do you feel a difference when you ingest that stuff?
Yeah, the Digest works really good if you have an upset stomach, for sure.
Oh yeah, I used to get heartburn a lot, and I would put that in some water.
Yep.
Take
And
care of
the
it.
Thieves is pretty good if you start getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've
I just think
definitely
like
used it.
these oils people are just like, "Oh, you broke your arm. Here, have some peppermint," and it's just like, what? Like it doesn't. I think it's just placebo. Anyway, whatever.
It could be. I don't know.
Smells
I
good.
mean, Cameron, one time you and I and a couple of people hotboxed the studio with essential oils for about 45 minutes. I legit had a headache for about a week after that. Like,
As a charity stunt to raise money, for like if people would give, we would set off more diffusers in this locked podcast studio.
Oh my gosh.
And it turned into like straight white fog. You couldn't see 2 feet in front of you.
I'm
it was so
good.
dense with essential oils. And we were in there for like an hour. We recorded a whole podcast.
It'll
like
give you a
that.
headache.
It was
I'm
it was
good.
horrible.
when we opened the door to leave the studio, it was like Jeff Spicoli walking out of the van before first period, like just this like mushroom cloud of smoke just bellowing out.
Cheech and Chong.
and our office smelled like a Yankee candle store for about 2 months after that. It was like
Every scent. Yeah.
it was every cent. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, that'll do it for last week's feedback. There's more where that came from. Go check it out. It's time for this week's
Editorial question of the week.
Earlier in the show, we got talking about dogs. And, everybody has different opinions about dogs, but what we all can agree on is that there's nothing better than a really clever dog name. See, for me, I didn't even want a dog, but I knew if I ever had one, it was going to be named Charles Barkley. I mean, like, that's just it. So we want to know for this week's question of the week, creative, funny, original dog names. Make us laugh. Clever puns.
And listen, don't send us your cat's name because I don't know why cats have names. They
Not
don't come to you.
interested. Yeah.
They don't do anything. So we don't want your cat's name.
You don't like
Get out of here,
cats?
cat. Yeah.
No cats.
Derek, do your fish have names?
The kids named them, but then we just call them fish. So it's like I got like 10 fish, man. I got 9 of them. So it's one of them, they're all named after like Marvel characters. So we got a Black Panther in there. We got a Hulk in there.
My thing is like, if this thing's going to die pretty easily, don't name it. Don't get attached to it. Just be like goldfish.
Yeah. If it's an animal,
my fish have lived like 5 years.
Oh, okay. So it's like legit.
Yeah,
if it's an
Tetras, yeah.
animal,
Aquarium.
if it's an animal that can be eaten, then I don't name it. And fish fall into that category.
Oh, you're not going to eat a Tetra.
All right. So hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or you can post on this episode post on the Relevant Magazine Instagram account. Tell us creative dog name ideas. We'll just burn through a bunch of them. And if you ever thought about getting a dog, maybe you'll grab one that you'll hear on next week's show. Well, many thanks to our friend Propaganda for joining us for the Black History Month conversation today. Make sure to follow him on IG at Prop Hip Hop. Also, if you aren't following Derek Miner, do yourself a favor. I mean, it's mainly memes, but it's at the Derek Miner as well. Hey, listen, while you're online following people, go over to relevantmagazine.com and check out the new issue of Relevant. It features Pharrell on the cover and so much other great content, and it's available for free. You can click on the magazine tab, and the January-February issue is right there. I hope you like it. There's a lot more going on every day as well. If you aren't following Relevant on the socials, we're at Relevant on Twitter, Facebook, we're at Relevant Magazine on IG. We are putting out a ton of content, God, life, culture, justice. We have a lot in motion this spring. Make sure you're connected with all of it. While you're at the site, there's also our new daily newsletter with our top 5 most trending articles in your inbox every morning, and our new daily devotional, Deeper Walk, presented by Lumo, that is on the site. There's a newsletter for Deeper Walk, and got a big announcement for Deeper Walk next week. So tell you more coming up. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
I'm Derek Miner.
We will see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I don't know where this dog's been.
Relevant Podcast Network.